Chronology. Here, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are, y'all, living limitless lives. That's right. I'm here once again in another 72-hour fast. And today, right now, we are celebrating 48 hours into this week's fast. Yes, yes, yes. As we work on our metabolism, improving our metabolism, getting our bodies in the position where we are heading to long, healthy life. Right now, we're doing a fast, and we're in 72 hours, and right now ending at 48 hours. Those of you who are coming, those of you who've been fasting with us, congratulations on your journey so far. If you are ending, if this is the end of your fast, if this is the end of your 24 hours, kudos, kudos, kudos. Congratulations to you. If you fasted with us yesterday and you ended yesterday, my hat's off to you as well. And I'm looking forward to those of you who are joining us, and we'll be fasting into tomorrow. So you're starting your fast right now and you're going into tomorrow. We'll talk more about that here in just a minute. But whatever platform you're joining us from, whether that's LinkedIn or Twitch, of course, on Facebook, and then here on YouTube, I celebrate you and I welcome you to this space. Go ahead and drop into the comments. Where are you joining us from? Let us know what country, what state, whatever area you're joining us from. Go ahead and drop that in the comments so we can give you a quick shout out and say hello and welcome to our community. A couple of things that we're going to talk about is, one, if you are in the community, or if you're new to the community, or if you have not been around, I want to let you know that we've streamlined much of what we're doing here in the community to help it to be simpler for you to jump in and get started on this journey that we're on. Remember, our journey that we're working on is, how do we improve our metabolism? How do we get our bodies to the place where the chronic diseases, chronic illness, those metabolic diseases, we are decreasing them. So high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver, obesity, of course, prediabetes and diabetes. How do we get off of medication? How do we make sure that we're decreasing our risk of certain diseases associated with metabolic disease, like heart disease and strokes, and now we're calling it type 3 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease. All of those are the reasons why we do what we're doing. And so what we want to do is, we want to know, how can we successfully do that? How can we increase our chances of getting to that destination? And one of the ways of doing that, of course, is improving our metabolism. And we're using fasting as one of those pillars, one of those keys. Here we are, and on a weekly basis, we do a fast. We do a weekly fast, and I am in the middle of, well, just a bit, actually 2/3 of the way into the fast for this week. As you know, I do a 72-hour fast, and I encourage the community to do at least a 24-hour fast once a week. And that's where you, if you're new to us, that's what you've seen. And so back to the community, we've streamlined things for you to be able to jump in and get started right away. When you go to the YouTube channel, you'll find two playlists there. One is called Start Here, right? Very apropos to what we want you to do. So if you're jumping in, you're saying, hey, where do I start? How do I begin this journey? How do I begin walking down this path that they're talking about? That's what you do. You go there and you do go into the Start Here videos, and you go ahead and walk through that plan. There's a free PDF that you can download. So if you're looking in the description of that playlist, you'll see a PDF link there, and that'll direct you to our website, dwainwoodemd.com, and you can download that free PDF that helps you categorize the videos. It walks you through some prompts where you answer some questions related to what you're watching and what you should be learning from that section of videos. And then at the end, there is the Limitless Living commitment statement, or the Limitless Living affirmation that you're doing, and you read through that, you sign it, and you date it. And what I recommend is that you print it out, put it in a frame, put it on your desk, put it on your wall, put it on your mirror, so that you are seeing that on a daily basis, and that's reminding you of the decision that you made to take charge of your health, right? So that's the first playlist. The second playlist is if you're coming and you want to know, hey, what are they talking about this week? What are the topics for this week? What have been the shows for this week? What did he eat before he started his fast? What is he going to eat at the end of his fast? That is what you want to do. You want to get into that playlist, and that is all the videos that we've done for this week. So far, right now, there are 12 videos, and this one that you're doing right now, you're watching, is going to be the 13th. And of course, tomorrow, we'll do our complete review of fasting as we go into that space. So all of those will show up in addition to our strength, strategy, and mindset series that we're currently on that's currently ongoing. We're actually in the bridge to mastery part of that series. So you want to join us, and anyway, those videos all will show up in that space. Okay. All right. Let me see. I think I see. So Steve is out here. So Steve jumps in. Thank you for coming through, Steve. He said the hills. He's from the hills of North Alabama. So we are glad that you are in this space. Steve is one of our community members who does a great job in his metabolism and is seeing tremendous benefit. So kudos always to you, Steve, as you work down your journey, as you move through your journey path. All right. So that's the YouTube channel. Also on the website, if you go there, that same idea is replicated. There's a welcome video from me. Below that, you'll see two buttons. One is start watching the videos, which will point you to the videos I just described. And the other is download the free PDF, which is the PDF we just talked about that walks you through and categorizes those videos for you, helps you to understand what you should be learning from each group of videos. And then below that, if you are tired, if you have been on this journey for a while, you've been on the hamster wheel, you've been trying lots of different things in terms of improving your metabolism, improving your blood sugar, improving your weight, and it works sometimes, and then you fall back, and you are ready to install a permanent operating system in your body, something that will help you go the long distance with this metabolic process that you're on. Go ahead and hit that button. That's our accelerator program, which is designed to take all the things that we learn about, all the things that we talk about, all the tools, and of course the community, and help that to be the way we do things. Remember, our goal is to get along the path. We're hitting those markers, right? So A1C and blood sugar and weight and all of those markers, but that's not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is how do we keep you alive as long as possible, and how do we keep you as healthy as possible. And so that's what we're looking for. Okay. And so what I want to do is I guess this has become sort of my mascot. So I'm going to go ahead. If you guys remember, several weeks ago, I said that someone had given us a plant here in the office, and we let's see, and we were taking care of it, right? We are taking care of it, but I wanted to kind of just come on and show you that it is still here. Let's see, camera. I want to show you that it is still here, and let's see if I can pull that up. So that's gonna be our office mascot. How about that? And so I'm gonna do this. Okay. Here, you should be, oh, well, maybe not. Okay. Well, I don't see it quite yet. All right, it's here. It's here. It's here. We'll have to. Oh, there it is. Figure out how to get you guys. There we go. So that is our plant that was given to us, and it is still alive. It's still green. We've not watered it too much. We've not given it too much sun. We've not given it, all right. So we're just kind of taking care of it. And so just like that plant that's there, right? We want to take care of this body that we have, right? So we want to take care of the body that we have, and we want to make sure that we're doing all the things that it needs to stay around as long as possible and to be as healthy as possible. Now, I mentioned to you that I'm not very good at with plants, right? So we're gonna see how this one goes. And my team here at work are helping me. I think to go talk to them and find out if they watered this thing. So they're at work helping me because I was gonna give it away, and they're like, no, no, let's not give it away. Let's keep it. And so here we are. And so just like this plant that's here that requires some attention, then our lives, if we are going to be around long and we're going to be healthy, also requires our attention. And so there are some things that we do, and we've talked about this. This is the Limitless Living Health Action Plan, right? And LLAP, LLHAP, Health Action Plan. And it is a set of pillars, right? There are 7 pillars that we walk through, and we've done those videos. If you've not done so yet, go ahead and find those on the channel and begin walking through those. As a matter of fact, when you go through the Start Here videos, one of those videos actually introduces the limitless living inventory, then the domains of health, and then the health action plan. So you'll, as you go through that, you'll get to that. But if you want to get a jump start, you want to you say, hey, they talked about the health action plan. What is that? And you want to look through that. You can go ahead and find those on the YouTube channel, and they will help to walk you through that. But those pillars are designed to get our metabolism in such a way, such a state that we are maintaining good long health. That is ultimately the goal. So the goal is not to have an A1C at a certain number. The goal is, how do I get down on the ground and wrestle with my grandson and my granddaughter? The goal is not that my weight is going to be a certain amount, but the goal is, how do I get to spend long times with my family, with my wife, with my husband, with my spouse, that we've put all this time into working, and now we're retiring and we want to travel, we want to spend time together. There are these hobbies that we've been wanting to do. The goal is not that your fatty liver is improved. The goal is, how do I prevent myself from having a heart attack and causing more metabolic dysfunction? So last week we challenged you to reframe and to make this personal, because sometimes when we think about those numbers, the numbers are just numbers and we're not really sure what does the number mean. And I want you to understand, right, in your life, what does that number mean for you? Because when you understand what it means for you, then you're more able to do what you need to do, to make the decisions and the choices that you need to make so that you can achieve that. It's kind of like saving money, right? If you don't know why you're saving money, it's hard to save money. I'll tell you that. Even if you're like, well, we got this stuff that we want to do. Well, stuff doesn't help you save money. When you say, hey, I got this car that I want to buy. There's this house that we're saving up for. There's this trip we're saving up for. Now, all of a sudden, there's a reason, and that reason gives you power. But when it's just some nebulous thing, then yeah, anything that happens takes away from that. And so here we are. This is our mascot plant that we've got here in the office. How do we keep it alive as long as possible? Keep it around, keep it healthy, right? So I've got my team that's going to be helping me to do that. But just like this, there are steps. There are things that we do, and that is where we have the Limitless Living Health Action Plan. Let me get that off and just bring myself back up. Here we go. Okay. All right, there we go. And so one of the pillars in the health action plan is fasting. And so that's why we're doing fasting, because it helps us to decrease the insulin in our body, suppress our appetite, and of course, reduce sugar. And those are the 3 pillars. Those are the top 3 pillars of reversing diabetes. But because diabetes is the prototypic, diabetes is the disease that is the ultimate in the metabolic space, anything that we can do that improves diabetes also improves all the other diseases along the spectrum. So things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver, obesity, pre-diabetes, ultimately diabetes, of course. Now we're talking about Alzheimer's disease, which is the effect of sugar and hyperinsulinemia on the brain, right? Type 3 diabetes is what the term is being thrown around. So all of those are things that this metabolic process that we're on, all of those are things that improve. Now we talked on Monday on Dwain Woode MD Live about the comparison that we do that sometimes helps to derail us. And the comparison is that, hey, we're on the same path, me and my friend, me and my cousin, me and my brother, me and my sister, me and my mom and my brothers, and they're getting better benefits for them than I am. Why did they lose 20 pounds and I only lost 5? Why is their blood sugar better, and mine hasn't gone down that well? Well, each of us is different. Each of us is different, and that that the way that the body responds is different. And so we've just got to figure out, and we've just got to find what is the way that is best for us. What is our game? How are we going to play our game? When we talk about fasting, right? Because we're talking about fasting today. When we talk about fasting, I do a 72-hour fast. You don't have to do a 72-hour fast. Now, we recommend that you do at least a 24-hour fast once a week, because the benefits that you get at 24 hours are higher than the benefits you get at some of the shorter fasts. But that doesn't even mean that the shorter fast, like a 16-8 or a 12-12, is not getting benefit. It's just that we get higher benefit. We get more faster benefit, more profound benefits as we go into the longer fast. And so I do a 72-hour fast because there are some metabolic things that are going on in my body that I have caused by decisions that I made. And the 72-hour is helping me put my body in the space of being successful and being long-term. But if you're looking at me and saying, man, he's doing 72-hour fast, I can't do 72-hour fast, one of two things will happen. Either you will begin overreaching, and overreaching meaning that you will start doing things that don't align with you so that you can achieve. It's like, keeping up with the Joneses. Right? I keep saying I don't know who the Joneses are, but that's the family that we use. We keep up with the Joneses. They buy a new car, so I'm going to buy a new car. They buy a big house, I'm going to buy a big house. They move to California. They're living in the hills, the Napa Valley, and I'm going to do the same thing, even though I am not capable of sustaining that. So I'm either going to overreach or I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop. Overreaching when it comes to our health means or looks like, well, she did 10 hours, she did a 10-mile today, so I'm going to do 10 miles. When you don't even walk, haven't even done anything yet. Overreaching looks like, well, he's doing a 72-hour fast, so I'm going to do a 72-hour fast, when you haven't even gotten to doing a 16-hour fast. So we overreach, and when we overreach, we actually burn out. Or we look at somebody who's doing something and say, well, I can't do that. And so because I can't do that, I can't do it like them. What do? We stop. We throw our hands up and say, well, this is not possible. I can't tell you the number of people, and I've mentioned to you before that I don't usually anymore. I used to. When people say, hey, what are you doing? Right? I simply say to them, well, I found something that's finally working for me. After years of struggling, after years of battling my A1C, after years of battling my weight, I finally found something that's working. And I stop. And if they ask me, hey, can you tell me about it? Now I say to them, go to the website, go to the YouTube channel, watch the first 2 videos and start here. When you finish with that, come, let's have a conversation. Because I used to try to, in that moment, teach them the health action plan. And you know what happens when people are listening to the health action plan when they don't have context? It's kind of like if you're fasting and you go somewhere and you say to somebody, they say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you not eating? Say, I'm fasting. Right? And almost without exception, their eyes kind of glaze over and they go off somewhere. Why? Because they're not ready to hear that. And not when I say not ready, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them. That means it has to be in context. And so the health action plan has to be in context. So when I talk to people, I simply say that to them. And if they're interested, then when they come back and say, hey, tell me more, it's like, oh, sure, let me tell you what I'm doing. And I begin walking through the health. I don't actually give them the whole health action plan at once. It's like, well, this is what I'm doing. For instance, now I'm doing a series in some churches. And by the way, if you are a doctor's office, you have a community center, you are a business, or you are a church or some kind of facility where you're playing video and you're looking for health content, we would love to be able to get our content wherever you are. Right. So just reach out to us. But right now I'm doing that series. And when here you want to hear the thing? When I think about doing the series, I'm so excited sometimes about the benefit that people get, the benefit that people will get, and benefit that I'm seeing as you guys are sharing your stories with me, that it almost makes me want to jump over the basic and basis of the things that I know work, and just go directly to, okay, this, you gotta eat like this, you gotta walk like this, you got right. So I want to go there because I want to see, man, let's get the benefit. But I want you to understand, you can't get there and sustain it if you don't understand some of the fundamentals in how the body works, how the brain works, and how those things fit into your life. And so as I'm doing the series, as I was thinking through, how do we do this series? How do we get people moving along this range or this pathway? I began thinking about myself. And a friend of mine, I was telling him several years ago, I said, "Hey, man, I'm finally latched on to this thing that's working." I was like, "Man, why didn't I get this before? Why didn't this make sense before?" And he said to me, he said, "Well, you weren't ready." He said, "You weren't ready." And so as I'm thinking about the series, I'm thinking about how has it been that I've gotten to this place where I am? And it was that the education had to come. There had to be this mindset change. There had to be this understanding that my choices, my behavior, my consistency is what drives everything else. There had to be that change in my thought. I had to understand really what's going on in my body. I had to understand how the choices I make affect my body, how sleep affects my body, how the things I eat are fueling my body and sending signals to my body that I never understood or never paid attention to. So until there's that basis, talking about fasting doesn't make sense to a lot of people. And so what we want to do is we want to understand how fasting works. And comparing ourselves to other people does not give us the power to continue doing what we need to do to be healthy. And we say that in lots of different spaces, right? So we talk about that in terms of houses and cars and careers and fame and so forth. But it's very, very important right here in our metabolic space. All right. I see. Let me see who's out there. So Steve, of course, we said hello to Steve earlier because he's in North Alabama. And Pam, hey Pam. Pam says, "Hey Steve." Pam, I'm glad that you came through. Another one of our community members is getting some tremendous benefit. Steve saying hello to Pam. All right. So yeah, so walking through fasting. So fasting is one of the pillars, one of the components of the Limitless Living Health Action Plan. And so on a weekly basis, we have a space here where we come and we fast together. We fast as a community. You get to see what I eat as my last meal before I start the fast. And then we go through the fast, we do the check-ins, we do the mindset, the education, and then you get to see what I eat for the first time after 72 hours at the end of the fast, which we'll do tomorrow as we do our complete review of fasting. So if you've not joined us for one of those, you want to make sure you come and hang out with us as we move through that space. You get to see what I eat. We get to talk about what happens, how you prepare for the fast, how do you get through the fast successfully, and then of course how do you break the fast. And in that process, we actually review quite a bit of the health action plan, because fasting, well, you can't attack one domain, the domains of health, and you can't begin talking about the health action plan without them overlapping and touching each other. So sometimes we talk about these things as though they are isolated components, like this one is in a drawer over there somewhere, and this one is a drawer over there somewhere, and they don't interact with each other. And that's not the case. They do interact, and they all affect one another. And so we want to, as we're talking about the fast tomorrow, we'll touch on several things, several components. Let me grab something here real quick. We'll touch on several components of the health action plan. And so, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are that you're hanging out with us as we walk through that process, and we'll talk about that. Come on with your questions as we go through. So make sure that you are there. And what I'm doing right now is I am putting my other camera on our, what I'm calling our, this is our office mascot. This is our office mascot. So go ahead and put that over there. Here we go. And so, so once again, we are in the process of fasting, which is what we're doing right now. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna pop that up. Let's see, where is that? Okay, let's do this one. Okay. So there is, there you go. So there's our plant. And so just like we are taking care of that plant, just like we're helping it to live and giving it water and giving it sun and all the things that it needs, that's what we're doing as we are walking through the Limitless Living Health Action Plan. It is designed to provide us the nutrients, provide us the care that we need. So the plan is designed to be several things. Number one is designed to be a blueprint. And the blueprint says that if I look at the box, look at the picture, if I do those things, the product I end up with will look just like that product. All right, so that's the idea behind the blueprint. It also says that if I follow these checklists, right? It's a checklist also. My likelihood of getting to my destination increases. It's kind of like going on the airplane and you see the pilot rush in. You don't want them just jumping in the seat and grabbing the yoke and taking off. You want to make sure that they have gone through and they have processed all of the things, right? All the things on the checklist. And make sure everything works because we want our chances to get over there, our destination, we want the chances to be very high. It's also designed to be a set of guardrails. And guardrails are there so that when you bump into them, they remind you of where the path is. And then there are a set of protection guidelines. When I say protection guidelines, there are a set of protection guidelines that says, hey, I'm not here to restrict you. I'm not here to confine you. I'm not here to take away your joy, but I'm here to help keep you safe. Just like when you're going down some stairs, you've got the rails, or if you're on a high building, they've got the rails around. Those are there for your safety. That's what they're designed for. And so those rails help us to be successful. And so when we walk through the health action plan, those are the features of them, and they're designed to help us what? Help us stay around as long as possible, and help us to be as healthy as possible. Let me go ahead and we'll get this guy off. All right, get back to this. Right. So that is our goal. How do we keep you alive as long as possible? And how do we keep you as healthy as possible? And I want you, as you're thinking through this process, and we'll now that I'm talking about this, we'll do a show. I shouldn't say we will, but there's a show that we have on our schedule where we'll come and we'll talk about what does that correlate to. So we keep talking about these numbers. What does that correlate to? If you were with us yesterday on our check-in, you saw me walk through my labs that I had just a couple of weeks ago when I went to see my doctor. And you get to see what my A1C is, what my cholesterol levels are, what my thyroid functions are, what my kidney functions are. You get to see what my testosterone and PSA and all those things are. You get to see all of those because that helps you to understand as we walk through that what those numbers mean. And what I want to do is I want to take the things that we're doing and I want to begin personalizing it for you. Because right now there are these nebulous numbers. There's these things that people tell us we need to achieve. Why do we want to achieve that? What's the purpose? What's the reason? Because if I can understand that, then I can make choices based on that. Okay. All right. And then Pam, let's see. Pam says, FYI, I really appreciated all of the info education last night. Ah, We popped that one up. She said she really appreciated all of the info education last night. So thank you, Pam. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad that you that it was beneficial. So because sometimes we get those numbers, we look at those numbers, and we're not sure what those numbers mean, but they really are important, and they help us when we understand them. We can make choices that help us move in the direction of being successful. Hey, well, that is right now. I am 48 hours into the fast. When we do our check-in tonight, we'll be at 56 hours into this week's fast as we move into the final leg of that. So if you've been fasting with us this week, just anybody, right? When's your first time, last time? If you've been fasting with us, go ahead and put yes. Go ahead and just drop yes into the comments, right? Normally I have you do 1, 2, 3. Right now, I just want to know, are you fasting with us this week? Go ahead and put yes. And here's I'm asking you this, right? When you are fasting, when you're thinking about fasting, when you're thinking about breaking your fast, I want you to take a picture of the meal that you had, whether it's the first meal after the fast or the last meal before the fast, and go ahead and send those in to us. You can send them at info@dwainwoodemd.com. Info@dwainwoodemd.com. info at dwainwoodemd.com. Right? You can, if you go to any of our social platforms, you'll see that contact information there. But that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And I'm just so excited to be walking down this path with you. We will do our check-in tonight at 56 hours as we continue into a fast. Tomorrow, we will do our check-in as we end our fast at 72 hours. 72 hours for the fast. Make sure you join us. You get to see what I eat for the first time after 72 hours. That's right. We continue our strength, strategy, and mindset series. We're in the bridge part right now. So we've completed 100 days and we are on day number 6 of the bridge. So bridge to mastery. How do we install those behaviors? What do we need to be thinking about as we're looking at those behaviors as we're moving into the next series? So we did a 100-day walk to consistency. We did the bridge. We did a 100-day of strength, strategy, and mindset, which was weight training. We're doing the bridge, and then we got another 100-day that's coming up. So make sure you join us. All of these, let me say that, are built into our triple E formula for success. So we educate with the shows and the blogs and the podcast. We empower with the tools. And the tools, right? The walking, the fasting, the balanced bites, the strength training, all of those are tools. They're designed to give you a space. So when you come to the channel, you can plug in, right? So we're talking about the health action plan. There are 7 pillars. So when you're walking through the path, as you're going through that start here video, okay, hey, how do I get started? How do I, walking? We got a walking series. The strength training, we got a strength training series. The fasting, we got a fasting series, right? So all of those are designed to allow you to just come and to plug in. If you talk about our community, right? Finding community, we've got one of those. Mental mastery. We got those. So make sure you're joining us and just plugging in and then sharing your story with us because we'd love to hear you. Once again, I am Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. So go live a limitless life, and we'll see you in the community. We'll see you along the streets, and we'll see you at our next.